Good evening. I'm Cheyene, Montana Lopez. I want to do this interview on myself. As most of you know, I stayed at this Blue Water Air Rescue mission for a while, and I'm trying to fight for human rights. I'm an author, and I'm a human activist, human rights. And I just want people to know I have videos out there about answers to shelters. And somebody made me realize something a moment ago. Now, TV stations, this is a big story, and he made me realize don't give up. So I'm not going to give up the fight. I'm pushing real hard for this. Now, I want you, the people, to call Channel 4 in Detroit, and also Fox News Station, NBC News in New York. Ask them why ain't they doing a story about this Blue Water Air Rescue mission that takes food stamps for rent, and there's no proof where they purchase groceries for the people who stay there, and he's not a grocery store. They're off 24th Street here in Port Huron. Now, Port Huron is a town of 29,000 people. Now, we could do better in shelters and stop this kicking people out in the morning at 7 a.m., rain and shine. Stop forcing people to go to church if they don't want to go. That's a violation of civil rights. Stop discrimination like the B. Warren does against female inmates, prisoners, and women. And also these shelters like they are in Port Huron. Only takes in if you haven't got a criminal record. Let's stop that. People who's been in jails and prisons deserve a second chance. How you gonna forgive yourself? How you gonna forgive if you don't expect to get to heaven unless you forgive them who have done harm to you and forgive yourself and to be able to move on? How you gonna make peace with yourself? And I want us to wake up and realize now, here you got the Salvation Army here in Port Huron has no shelter. Most all Salvation Armies have a shelter of some kind and nothing. Let's call this Salvation Army and their headquarters. You, the people, donate and give money to these at Christmas time at the bell ring. Ask yourself, what are they doing with the money besides, yes, they giving good cause, helping people with the utilities, rent, water, gas, or power. But yes, but that's not enough. And besides giving out food. So why ain't these shelters stopping kicking people out in the cold or heat, and stop making them look for jobs when they're trying to get their disability, and start treating people like human beings? Now, I want to keep this pressure out because you know as well as I do that there is answers here. Now let's look around. Port Huron is like this bridge here. Taxpayers and the city, if you're sleeping in the park and you can't get no rest during the night, where are you to go? Now, let's stop arresting a homeless person that's sleeping on the bench and calling it vagrancy. And let's stop doing that, and let's change that law. Let's remove it off the books. We have too many laws on the books. Now, what we need to do is to recognize, number one, that we got a problem with the homeless. Second of all, let's start doing something, improving it by making shelters change their policy. Second of all, let's stop tearing down old buildings, make them modernized. Let's raise money for a better shelter that doesn't kick people out in the cold, that you get in a place for the home when they have no room for them. Let's start like a city tent place like at the old Kmart, where and put a portable shower. Let's open a building up where they can get their mail come to, get their washing done every day of the week. It needs to be done. to have clean clothes to go out and look for a job, or to continue getting their disability. Let's stop turning our backs on them, because they're humans too. Now, you can go places like McDonald's and sit only like for a certain length of time. Okay? Now, there's just so many places limited in this town and other towns that you can go to if you're homeless. But so, now, or Wendy's or some other place that you can go to, but they can't keep you there all day. So, let's start taking notice. Let's start taking notice, and let's do forgiveness of wiping any debts off the record. Start where people can keep their homes and families. Let's stop the discrimination against families, and churches need to stop trying to break up families in the shelter and put a shelter up for families to stay in every town. Now, I push for this every day of my life, and it's my dream to see it happen before I die. Maybe I can make a difference. Maybe you can make a difference. But somebody besides me has got to speak up. Now, I'm going to be doing a series of interviews coming up, but I'm not going to show their faces, of people who have been abused by this Blue Water Rescue Mission, and food stamps taken from them for rent. And what they do is, that person who's got food stamps, they share it with others, and you got two people who's been there for 4 years, hasn't even strived to do better. Don't have me a lime bowl on the platter that you can, you gotta try to get out debt. Go to the lawyer and declare bankruptcy if you can't get the debt's wiped off, like one of them has been for 4 years, and he's sitting there, and yeah, he rides a bicycle, and he claims to be disabled. Now, why is he working at a cemetery, and then, why is he not striving to be better? He could get a housing authority, and he's senior citizen. He could get a housing authority, and the government would subsidize a check for him. Give him a check for utilities, and also a portion of it to his rent. They would have done this a long time ago, before he got his disability started. He has no excuse to be there. And then you got a newspaper report for Times Herald in Port Huron, and done a story on this back in Thanksgiving week of 2015, when I stayed there. And she didn't get the correct story. She didn't go to parks. She didn't go and question everybody that comes to that Port of Hope, so it comes to the soup kitchen, saying, hey, what about the homeless? What can we, the people, do for you? What is going on? How you feel about that Blue Water Rescue Mission? Rescue term means save a person off the street. It doesn't mean take money. Now, let's stop taking the money and asking them questions of what they're doing with the food stamp money. Now, they got to be doing something with it. So he goes, I got pictures that prove that he goes to a church and gets food donations, and I hope I put a dent in that. So, anyway, let's call the state to get the ball rolling, and let's call TV stations to do a story on this. We need help. We need help. And please also, I ask you, I'm not doing this for myself, but I'm doing it for the homeless. Give to Kickstarter.com. My goal is not just $50,000, but go beyond to raise money to get a better shelter. You got 10, as I done last month, a video of Washington School. You got that. It can be, it's not being used for nothing but to store things. Store what? Let's use it to house families on one floor, where it be men and women and children. It's together. It's the whole family. And the other end of it maybe can be used for children and older children. Okay? Or women with children, single parents. Okay? And then the next floor would be for men. Okay? We could easily put 2 bathrooms for each end. Okay? Hive it off the top floor. Now the second floor would be for the women, and the first floor for men. For men, it's homeless. Okay? let's stop treating the homeless like dogs. And you hear in Port Huron, you got people, and I'm sure it's happening in not just Rome, Georgia, where I know it's happening. Salvation Army has no shelter down there but for men, and they discriminate against the handicapped. You gotta go up a flight of stairs. Now it's dangerous to a handicapped person. A wheelchair person can't get up there to eat. If he's starving and hungry. Same way by a woman. She can't get up there. She's crippled. Okay, let's modernize it. Instead of building a new building, a warehouse, it costs $3 million, $30 million, or whatever amount. Let's turn it into a shelter. Add on to the back of the store for a warehouse. Keep the old shelter for executive office. If there's a fire in that shelter, they have no escape. Yes, the Salvation Army forces you also like to be warm. Go to church. Go to church. And yet they'll take Buddhists in there, but they won't take atheists. Okay? Let's stop the discrimination against a person who's just gotten a job and if second or third shift's the only one that he can work, let's allow him come in and take where he can get some rest during the day and be able to go work at night. Now let's make that shelter stronger, better, and let's make the changes. Now, here you got the courthouse over here that passed this law. City Hall right down there, where Michigan works and all that, what they call the Michigan works. South, it's called Department of Labor. Go to for jobs, and you go to water down there in Canada right across the way. Now, here roads you can see, like this one right here, needs redoing. Okay? And they'll raise for a small boat, a drawbridge. It's costing you, the taxpayers, probably $20,000, $30,000 every time it's raised. Okay? Let's stop bridge raising and bend the antennas over on boats that could go under there. And I understand about sailboats and big motorized boats, but for the medium-sized boat and the smallest of smalls, you ain't got to raise that bridge. It's ridiculous, causing traffic jams. And let's remove downtown where people can get through. Like ambulances, one day I was on that bridge on 7th Street in Erie. They had the bridge raised, the ambulance couldn't get through. Now, that's crying shame. What if that person is on the other side of that bridge and dying? Now, and then this other bridge sitting down here blocked off. Maybe you got antique car show going on. It's ridiculous. You got to go around 10 miles to get into town, the other side of it, to do what you got to do. Now, you shouldn't have that. There's a fairground sitting down there. A man is going to donate right by the Maritime Museum. City turned it down. Rome has a fairground for all that. So, my point is, we can make improvements. We can do better. The answers are there. It's up to you, the people, to come in behind and agree with me. Watch the videos, call it in, and to even congressmen about human rights violations going on in these shelters and civil violations going on against women, and just your rights being violated all around. I'm here at the Port Huron Library on a beautiful day today, so let's do this. Please get behind me and jump on the bandwagon to fight this, to make things better. And this is Cheyenne, Montana Lopez, and I hope you again join me in my cause to fight for human rights and the rights of the homeless and the rights of people. Stop the discrimination against people who's just getting out of prisons, no matter what crime. Everybody deserves a second chance, or a third. How many times? Surely at some point, it changed. I got a good friend, he's changed. So let's stop the discrimination, give them a fair chance in society, because they're human too. Now, have a heart. Be a Christian that you're supposed to be. Forgive. Love and forgive. The Bible says, love one another as I have done to you also. And that's Jesus' words. Love one another as I have loved you also. And love the Lord thy God with all their heart, all thy heart, mind, and soul. So let's speak up and let's get together and have a celebration to stop these abuses. Unite behind this cause, America. I know you're there listening. I got roads to travel, many more fights ahead of me. I don't know how many years and days and months God has for me. But I pray that this happens before my lifetime is up. I pray for a change on these shelters. Ask yourselves where the money is going. Why they kick them out in the cold, in the dead heat, rain or thunderstorms. Why they make them get up and leave when it's during the day, come back at night and go to classes 6 and 7 days a week for Bible classes. Now, that's what this bee worm does. Torments you. Now, they only got 2 days a week to go look for a job. It's just interfering with them going to look for work. Now, are going in their disability whenever they could be out doing better. And like I said about this 2 is staying there 4 years. What's their excuses? They have no excuses. And that reporter done a false story to the public and to the newspaper, the Times Herald here in Port Huron, Michigan. The Port Huron Times Herald. That wasn't an accurate story. It's all about Arnie Coombs. He's got connections to the police department up here. Why didn't they do a background check on this man? See how long he had a job, and that's what. And let's stop the fraudulent things that he's doing. It's fraud, stealing from you, the public, you, the taxpayers. He got fired from 2 jobs. This man did, and his wife, she abuses her son. And he's sitting there with autism. And the law says you're not supposed to verbally threaten or verbally abuse a handicapped child. And they get away with it. And he could be in a better house and better home. Even if it's foster care. Get better treatment than that. These people aren't capable of running Blue Water Rescue Mission. Let's stop the cruelty today, tomorrow, and forever. Thank you. God bless.